So I was just thinking about something. I don't know exactly how to verbalize what it is I'm thinking. But basically, I'm driving and I look through my rearview mirror and notice my stickers that I have on the back of my car. They say like Jesus, the way, the truth, the life. There's other various Jesus stickers on the back of my car, and then I was just thinking, like, the people behind me, I wonder how many people see that, and the reaction that you actually get is like a rolling of the eyes, or like, I don't know, like sometimes like when you see people who seemingly look happy within Jesus, or that look happy, like they're like avid churchgoers, and like, you know, they're always dressed nice, and like things seem to just be going well with them for their lives. Like, it can make people, not because they don't believe in God, but because that's not their experience, because, you know, what we are experiencing, like, there's this whole massive amount of the population actually that experiences the opposite, that things just aren't going well for them. Like, you know, they don't have a great deal of things to celebrate. Like, so then when you see that, when you see other people like that are seemingly just doing so well, like they're just so absent of struggle or troubles, then, you know, when you see stuff about Jesus, like, can make you roll your eyes. Like, I've even rolled my eyes at my own stuff before, like, because, I know it's just an interesting concept, like, when the Bible talks about, like, how, basically, like, if people are experiencing sorrow or grief or whatever, like that, it's annoying for you, like, if you want to try to just, like, play joyful music, or, like, what you think would cheer people up, like, you're trying to be cheerful, but really it's just, like, basically, like, what they're saying is, like, nails on a chalkboard. It's, like, a screechy instrument, basically, like, because it doesn't help, like, when people are grieving or, like, experiencing sorrow, like, those things are just annoying, you know, to them. So I think that it's just, it's a perception, but it's just somewhat mysterious, you know, like, that we tend to think, like, when we see these, like, church people, you know, with their, like, their nice clothes, and, you know, whatever, like, they just seem, you know, so cheerful, like, everything's going great with them, everyone likes them, like, you know, whatever, like, the sorrowful heart, the grieving heart, you know, the ones of us who are rejected, like, you know, who don't have a community, like, who good things just seemingly miss us, like, that aren't happening for us, like, that can make our hearts misperceive Jesus, you know, like, it makes you feel like you're excluded from that, or, like, you know, that maybe Jesus isn't for me, or, like, maybe, you know, like, and I think that's where, like, we got something wrong there. So the only reason I wanted to talk about this is because, like, I've been having a lot of time to myself lately, just, like, having some sorrow and some grief, going over some things with the Lord, and, you know, and that includes, like, just not understanding, like, that includes some whys and some, so just some tough times, you know, like, I feel like a lot of us don't talk about that very much, but that's the other side, that's more, like, that seems more like the truth, like, from what I've read in the Bible, than seeing the opposite, like, the people who are just, you know, doing so, like, perceivably look well and are doing perfect, and, like, those are the people that Jesus loves, like, not, like, when obviously, like, the Bible talks about, like, the rejected, the nobodies, the people who are regarded as nothing, the sick, the lame, like, you know, like, it's those people that he's come to save us, to give us hope. So that's just something I wanted to point out, because I know it's not just me, you know, that's experienced, like, even coming to know God, like, I've come to know him, and I've experienced so many wonderful things, and still, like, nothing in my life has ever gotten any better. If anything, it's still trial after trial, hardness after hardness, and just a prayer and holding on to things, like, for so long that eventually you break, you know, like, and you just don't understand the whys behind so many things, like, of why does this keep happening, or why is this my life, or, like, you know, and you're just trying to make sense out of, like, you know, like, we know the obvious answers, like, behind things, like, we're in a fallen world and whatnot, but it still just it's still just hard to cope. It's hard to keep going, just knowing, like, you just don't understand why. Like, there's some people, like, that experience complete devastation. There's some people, like, that experience, like, the best things in this world, like, and it's just so difficult for us to make sense, like, because we can sense, like, this isn't just, this isn't right, this isn't fair, and we don't really understand, like, you know, we just don't understand overall. And I've been at a place like that also, like, with just not having understanding. I go back and forth between just feeling, like, gloom and depressed, and, like, I really just don't know anything. I've kind of fallen away, like, you know, I've kept my faith, but still falling away, because I've been faced with those moments many times where I'm like, okay, like, it reminded me of the disciples when Jesus is talking to them, and he says, well, like, some of the people they walk away from Jesus' teachings, so they're hard and like for them to understand. And then he asked the disciples, well, aren't you guys going to leave too? And they told him no, like, where else are we going to go? Like, so that's the experience I've been having. Like, I'm telling myself in my mind, okay, so you're just going to give up? Like, are you just going to walk away from God and all of this? And that's what came to my mind. It's like, no, like, where else am I going to go? There's nobody else. There's no other way, the truth, the life. There's no other, like, I have to just keep holding on to what I've experienced, that I know that he's real and that he's true, and that there has to be something, like, I don't know what yet, but there's something, like, whether I see it in this world or not, I don't know. So much that I don't know. But I just wanted to remember, that, like, that Jesus came for not those that look like, that they're not bad, like, for doing well or dressing nice or whatever. Like, when you see good things or people experiencing good things, they're good things. We should celebrate, like, just try not to be bitter because we see goodness, like, for other people. We can still identify and accept good things, like, for other people. But it's just, like, that isn't the community that reaches everybody, like, that was the community that will push away or annoy or grieve, like, or, the people who are already grieving or the people who already are filled with a lot of sorrow. So I just want to be a reminder that there is a community, that there is a large amount of people, that our hope isn't Jesus alone. Like, my only hope